Hello everyone, this is Malvika Kulkarni again, clinical and sports nutritionist, CPT and yoga wellness instructor. In continuation with the series that we have now come up with, which works on the most searched topics on the internet and relating it with nutrition and dietetics. Today we are going to talk about the topic of PCOD and PCOS. So this topic is really close to what we've been working with a lot these days. Let's understand what PCOD and PCOS is first. So the condition of polycystic ovarian disorder and polycystic ovarian syndrome is seen in women in the reproductive age. As the data suggests, about 10% of the women of this age are now diagnosed with PCOD and about 2.5% of them are diagnosed with PCOS. So what happens in PCOD and PCOS? So a host of lifestyle disorders which are as a result of irregular sleeping habits, irregular food habits, lot of stress, and in certain cases we also talk about genetic factors can lead to a hormonal imbalance. Now when we talk in case of women, we are typically talking about the estrogen and progesterone imbalance. Now in case of PCOD and PCOS, what happens is the egg follicles that need to mature during ovulation do not complete the process, which leads to formation of cysts in the ovary, and this in turn can lead to polycystic formation, and that's why it's called PCOD or PCOS. So there are certain differences between PCOD and PCOS. In PCOD, you might typically just see an estrogen progesterone imbalance, and a few lifestyle measures can correct the issue. But in terms of PCOS, there are a few other things that are also coupled with this. For example, we also see patterns of insulin resistance or excess androgen, which can lead to hirsutism or excess facial hair growth or secondary sexual characteristic growth. So what we do in terms of nutrition is similar in both PCOD and PCOS. So let's talk about the main pointers that we should be taking care of when we want to manage PCOD and PCOS. First in line, we are going to try to lower the carbohydrate consumption and also try to focus on the quality of the carbohydrate consumption. So typically in the Indian diet or a lot of diets, you would see there's an excess of carbohydrate consumption but very less focus on the protein and the healthy fats composition in the diet. So we have to ensure that we are including lower amount of carbohydrates and low glycemic index foods, like for example whole grains, pulses, slow digesting fruits, for example lower GI fruits like maybe apple or pear, and vegetables, so higher fibrous vegetables need to be included. Secondly, we focus on the type of fats that we are eating, and this can also be coupled with the protein intake. For example, if you're using good quality dairy sources or you're consuming eggs, then this would ensure a good protein fat ratio also in the diet. Also addition of nuts and seeds, in which we also use a therapy called as seed cycling. We have written an article, in-depth article about this in our website www.cdmkfitness.com, and you can just check in that what seed cycling is. Third part, coming to the exercise patterns. Okay, so your exercise needs to be smartly programmed, where you are doing a combination of all three. So resistance training to improve the hormonal balance in your body for better insulin sensitivity and for the estrogen progesterone balance. Then cardiovascular activity, again this is for blood sugar regulation, this will be helpful. And lastly, meditative practices for bringing the stress level under control. So all these three aspects need to be inculcated in your lifestyle. And lastly, we'll also talk about certain supplements that would be beneficial to control this condition. One is inositol supplementation and second is berberine. So both these supplements have shown positive results for people facing issues with PCOD and PCOS. I hope this video is useful to you. If you have any doubts, feel free to reach out to us.